So a kind of cool class of compounds that we're going to talk about are called hydrates. These are ionic compounds, okay, substances, but almost always ionic compounds that include water in their formula. So what happens to a lot of ionic compounds is they don't exist by themselves, they exist surrounded by water. For instance, CuSO4, it's pretty hard to find that all by itself. It's usually found with 5 waters attached. That little dot right there doesn't mean times like in math, it means plus. So I have copper sulfate, so every copper 2 sulfate has 5 waters attached to it. Okay, happens to be this cool looking blue compound. Okay, this is the copper, this is the sulfate, and then these are the 5 waters all surrounded. They come in and they surround it. These are called hydrates. Lots and lots of ionic compounds are actually hydrates. Okay? This is the sulfate, and this is the sulfate, and this is the copper, and then it's got waters attached to it. I don't know why it's only showing 4 there. There should be a 5th one, so we'll draw in another one. Okay, so that's an example of a hydrate. It's just an ionic compound with water molecules attached to it. So the first thing we want to do is learn how to name these. This is really simple. Okay, CuSO4 we know is copper 2 sulfate, right? Transition metal. So copper 2 sulfate. And then it has 5 waters, so we're going to say pentahydrate. Okay, pentahydrate, 5 waters. This compound here is sodium sulfate. All right, sodium sulfate. And it's got 10 waters, so decahydrate. Sound pretty easy if you know how to name the compounds. This is beryllium. Nitrate. Okay, 4 waters. So tetrahydrate. Okay, if you're good at naming compounds, naming hydrates is pretty simple. Just to be sure, let's go ahead and do it backwards. Sodium carbonate. Sodium is Na+. Carbonate is CO3 2-. So Na2CO3. Then we put a dot, and then 10 H2Os, decahydrate. Cobalt 2 is cobalt 2+. Chloride is Cl-, so CO, Cl2, hexahydrate, so big dot, and then 6 H2O. Okay, that's pretty much what all there is to hydrates.